back on my bed. I've nowhere else to film. This is it. My entire life, I live on this bed, I work on this bed, I never leave it unless I'm going to a Comic-Con. I'm amazed, I'm shocked, I'm thrilled, I'm happy. Not just because I finished my exams yesterday, but I hit 200 followers on YouTube and that was very fast. I've only been shooting out videos. Oh, when did I first start? Not long ago, like a few months, not long at all. So I'm very, very happy. And I also hit 500 followers on my Facebook cosplay page, which was fantastic, and I never really said thank you because it sort of happened and I was doing things while it happened. And then I also hit 1,500 on Instagram and it's gone up since then. I'm amazed completely. I don't do good stuff and I'm a complete klutz in life. What are you following? Thank you for the followers. Thank you, followers. Can't talk today. Thank you for liking the shit that I post, because usually it's just shit posting. And thank you for loving my props and my cosplay stuff, which it really makes me very happy because I put a lot of work into the stuff I do. And the fact that people like it and the fact that they'll comment on it, which takes effort and spelling, to say they like it or to ask questions really does mean a lot. So I'm going to do a video. I'm going to do a Q&A video. This video is going to be split into two parts because I asked people if they wanted questions and I forgot to specify that it was just cosplay prop questions. So I've got a lot of other questions as well. So the first bit's going to be about cosplay and the second bit, which is only a few tiny little questions, is just going to be a little bit, you know, just funny, and I love my friends, they're very strange. First question I got, and I can't remember who the hell gave this to me, this was a while back, is what do I use for cutting out foam? Because foam comes in various shapes and sizes, and some of them are very, very thick. And if you're trying to cut out tiny little details and get around corners with a knife on thick foam and still get the knife all the way through the foam, it's going to be messy and it's going to rip and it's not going to look good. So here's the different things that I use for cutting foam. And I'm closer. No, I need you to see what I'm holding and you can't see that from all the way in the middle of the bed. What was I talking about? Let's talk blades first of all. Stanley knives. Are these called Stanley knives? Stanley knives. Like from Marvel. These are wonderful. They're incredibly sharp and they're also incredibly long blades. Which goes through a lot of foam very, very quickly and cleanly. So in one strip you can get it without all those little layers forming inside the foam. It's very hard to explain, but you'll see. If you can get it through on one cut, it looks beautiful. The actual knife itself is around 8 quid from B&Q and the blades are around 3 quid for 10 blades. Now, these big knives, you see how big they are? They're fat. Fat, fat. And the issue is that if you're on a massive piece of foam, say 2 centimetre thick foam, you can't do small details with the camera. Why did I say that? With the foam, and it's hard to do. You'll cut little slices off in weird places, which is where this comes in. It's exactly the same, but it is a lot thinner. Still same amount of strength. It's a little bit wobbly, so when blades are wobbly, I really recommend putting on eye protection, because I've had moments when I've been cutting down with a lot of pressure because I needed to, and the blade snapped in half and took off a chunk of skin just here. Now I'm so happy I was wearing eye protection, because if that had gone further up, it would have been disastrous. So please, for the love of Christ, if you've got something that looks like it might snap, even though it might not, put eye protection on. You never know. Indentations. There are two ways you can do this. One is by cutting a line just on the surface of the foam and then taking a heat gun, and the heat will open up the foam and it will just open up naturally. It's quite nice. But if you want something a little bit more controlled, I use this. This is a soldering iron. Now, you're not supposed to use soldering irons on foam. And as you can, I don't know if you can see this, the end of it is really bunged up with discharge from the foam. So if you start to use soldering irons on foam, you're not going to be able to use it for soldering anymore. And that's how I make, I punch holes through foam. and I make the lines in foam. Can't think of any downside to this. The only thing is, of course, if you're burning foam, there's going to be fumes. So please, for the love of Christ, don't do it in a closed room or a box. Just be sensible, do it with ventilation. Don't kill yourselves, guys. That's all I ask. And the next, I've only gotten this recently. This is the bomb. And it's really cheap, and I'll probably get a really expensive one, but I wanted to see how it worked first. Is this. This is a hot wire cutter. As you can see, the wires here. You attach it yourself. You want to make sure it's really strict. What it does is it heats up the wire, and you can go into foam and cut as much as you want without a knife. And if you've got any tiny little round details in foam, it's impossible to cut circles in foam. You use something like this. This was 12 quid, came from Argos. Invest, it will save your life when you're trying to do weird shit with foam. Next question I kind of got was on working with painting foam. I found that if the foam is going to be rigid, you can use normal spray paint or acrylic paint. But if you're going to be wearing the foam, so if the foam is going to be moving, normal spray paint is going to crack open. So what we have got that we can get in the UK via usually eBay sellers is this. It's called Plastidip. Plastidip is a latex paint that's coloured. You can get it in all shapes and forms and sizes. You can even get special ones like UV and glow in the dark and all nice fun stuff. And you spray it on like you would normal spray paint. You might need a few more coats, but it creates rubbery texture, which means that when you move your foam, the paint won't crack. The next question about a week ago, I think, was on glue. I use 2 types of glue for everything, and that is super glue, which is still in its packet. Please wear gloves. I've glued myself to too many props. Other thing is time contact glue. Now it doesn't, it says contact adhesive. Contact adhesive. This is a big tin because I get through it like you would not believe. And this is the best glue you can buy for foam. None of the others compare. How would you make a sword, in particular a katana or any other type as well? I'm making a sword right now. I'm making Mika's sword from Hawaii No Sueth. I'm also recording while I'm doing it, so there's going to be a tutorial video on that, I hope soon. Well, it better be soon because I'm taking Mika to May MCM and that's only in a few weeks. Help me. Yes, I make swords from foam and warbler because warbler hardens quite nicely. Again, I make a template, I cut the foam out, and then I use a Dremel tool. I couldn't bring this upstairs because it's in the garage. And a Dremel tool is like a sander, and you can sand away and make edges and nice curves, and that's how I make swords. I don't use wood because I don't have a woodcutter or anything like that. Katana, I think it's the same way. What I would recommend is actually, if you don't have the time or you can't really make a sword prop, is you can often buy wood cosplay swords, which are around 15 quid to 20 quid. And they're often very plain. And what I've found is I can actually alter these swords. I'll repaint them, I'll add extra things on with foam or with warbler, and I'll add in extra decorations. And you've already got the base of the wood prop, so all you need to do is decorate. So I'd recommend doing that. Yes, this is from Mikado Akaman, who's a darling. What's the best and most materials you use for weapons like guns and knives? Foam. I tend to just use foam. I also use something called PVC plastic. Gun, I'll put warbler on the front just to sort of make it a lot harder. If you make layers of materials for your props, how many layers is recommended, e.g. guns? Okay, yeah, I do understand that. I'd recommend 4. Now, it depends how big your foam is. If you've got a massive foam, then just use the bit of massive foam and have 2 on the outside. If it's a sort of a thinner foam, which is a 1 centimetre foam, I'd recommend 2. And the reason why I'm sort of adding 1 on the outside is use craft foam. Craft foam is incredibly thin, and you can layer it on quite a lot and create loads of layers. So if you do that over the base foam, you'll create a nice indentation. Think about the layers that are going to be there. There's going to be 2 layers. and it's always going to like be cut away. Like, do you remember when you were a kid and in geography class they explained how those maps worked, where you start off with one colour and as you get higher you go to red and that shows the height difference, and there are all these little lines? It's like that. That's how it works. Just think about it like you're making a volcano in geography class back in year 9. Proud of myself for remembering that. Question: how did you go about learning to sew and create your own garments? I didn't. This has all been a trial by error phase. My low-key cosplay, apart from the jacket was already sewn, is all made by me, but I've had no experience in my life of how to make garments. Okay, now we're on to the bit more weird shit, because I do love my friends, but they're very strange. This is from Isaac the King of Meme Winchester. What's your favourite meme? I know his is Pepe. I know that much. My favourite meme is probably Crave That Mineral, which was the goat one about 2000 and... It was a little while back. Everyone forgot about it except for me. It's not funny anymore, but it's still hilarious in my head, unfortunately. What's my favourite cosplay? And this is from Levi. Very hard to say. My favourite cosplay to wear has to be Genos. With Genos, it's because it's sort of it's a big cosplay. People will ask a lot of questions like, who are you? Or that's really cool, especially if I've got the lights going. My favourite cosplay, I think my Loki, because I made him and I've worn him and he's the first cosplay I ever did. Is it anymore? I can't remember. Yeah. How expensive were the followers to hire? How long is your lease from them? My followers were very, very expensive to hire because they've got very high standards and I can't believe they wouldn't follow me if I didn't pay them. I got a few questions also, what am I doing for my summer Comic-Con schedule? I'm going to MCM in London. I'll be there all 3 days. Please come see me. I have got to meet. Come see me then. I'm organising it. I'm really hoping it's not going to be an absolute failure. I'm organising the One Punch Man meet on Saturday at 4 o'clock by the statue outside. Between the statue and the trees. If it's going to be raining, I'll reorganise. But please come. It looks like it's going to be so fun. I'm also going to Hyper Japan. I can't remember when that is. But it's in London. I'm going to Hyper Japan then. And I'm also going to LAGC, the summer one. Again, I can't remember when that is. So thank you guys so freaking much for all the likes, all the comments, all the love. It makes me happy. It really does. Big, big thank you. I'm doing more videos. More videos will be coming soon. More makeup tutorials, more instructional tutorials for cosplay. Thank you guys. Goodbye. Love you. That's all there is to say. How about now? Am I in focus? I can't tell. The next question. Okay, what? Okay, oh my god, the light's back. Oh, sorry. Carbon. Cool. I don't know. If you make layers of materials... Wait, what? Oh, the ducks are back. So, I always wave my arms around a lot. I'm not... Why do you follow me?